There has always been talk that there are retcons in the history of FNaF, or that the lore has changed every time a new book or games come out. But is this really the case, or is it just fans' paranoia? Well, that's what we're going to discover in that video, so increase your remnant because we're going to start. The most talked about retcons lately are Ditophobia, Mimic, and recently the Happiest Day, among other things saying that they are retcons or the saga of that the lore has changed again. But I'm sorry to tell you that this is not the case. In FNaF Freddy there are no recent retcons and the lore has not changed. Everything has been planned for a long time and Scott has not changed the lore or put retcons in it. There has always been evidence that demonstrates the presence of Mimic in the lore from several games and books ago. I already made a video about this topic at the time. In addition to the fact that the lore does not change, it simply confirmed a red unknown that had no answer yet and was finally confirmed to us. But I must tell you that FNaF Freddy's yes has suffered retcons with the release of FNaF Freddy's sister location. At itself Scott Cawthon mentioned in a post, but what are those retcons? Well, that is what I will try to talk about since the story has had several retcons. The first of them is actually Mimic, which did not come due to complaints from fans, since Scott Cawthon already learned a long time ago that giving what it wants to the fandom is very expensive and is not profitable. But Mimic was a retcon with the departure from sister location, since in the 4 previous games there was no existence of this in the other location, and in the books they apparently were in the first Freddy Fazbear Pizza location, in addition to the fact that Mimic and Edwin were not planned in the first 4 games, behind only the Souls and William Afton, but when sister location Mimic came out it already appeared in the head of lore. Some say that it is impossible to have the history planned for a long time, or that Scott is not a complete genius to do something like that. But writing a story and having in it your head is more easier than developing it. A clear example of Saga 37, which in the beginning showed Toy Chica traveling in time and currently will finally reach the arc of that moment in history, showing that Saga already has the story planned for a long time and is currently still developing it. So yes, Scott already has Mimic in mind and now is when he has been able to tell and develop the story further. The second retcon is in FNaF Freddy 4, which had no purpose of telling lore beyond the origins of Fazbear and the bite of 83, but Scott was not convinced by this, and with the departure of sister location he added more lore and it was part of this, making instead of writing Child Nightmare a series of experiments found in rentals. The third retcon is found in FNaF Freddy's 2, with the hand of William first victim and the establishment, as Freddy says, saved him, showing that that victim was a boy. We currently know that is a girl and that she did not die in Freddy Fazbear Pizza, if not in Fazbear Family Dining, making a small retcon in the story. The fourth retcon is in FNaF Freddy's, in which after beating the custom night, Mike is fired, which is currently no longer the case, since Mike was never really fired and stayed until the place ended up closing. This is what we can already see. What if they had fired him? They would have taken away his security logbook and he would not be able to continue writing for a long time. And when the place closed they let him keep it, in addition to the fact that in the band. He confirmed that we will know who was fired since he still calls himself the ward at Freddy Fazbear Pizza, which means that Mike was not really fired. The 5th Retcon is in sister location in which the Afton family appears, something that was no initial planned. It only dealt with the Purple Man and the Soul. Investigating their life or family was something that was not planned. It is possible that the children of FNaF Freddy's 4 were not initially William's children, but it is possible that in FNaF Freddy's sister location, Scott decided to give them more importance and thus created the Afton family for the plot. This also applies to Henry Emily. The 6th Retcon is the most obvious. The happiest day has had many changes. Since after FNaF Freddy's 3, this was going to be the end of everything, but that has changed. It is the end of the game, being the last event that will happen, behind the liberation of the soul, but it no longer happened after FNaF Freddy's 3, but at the end of the saga. We have the 7th Retcon missing children incident, since supposedly the children did not die all 5 together and were separately, something that has currently changed. I think Scott saw an inconsistency with this and modified the missing children incident so that William's victims they all die on the same day, which is reflected in the novels and film, since William killed their children on the same day. Into the Pit and You're the Band confirmed that the missing children incident suffered a retcon, since the children they were murdered on the same day and they were sitting on the wall. Plus there maybe have been 6 and not 5, but that is for another video. So Scott actually preferred that the children die all together, and possibly the missing children incident occurred on June 26, since in the novel FNaF Freddy's and Into the Pit the missing children incident occurred in summer. The 8th Retcon occurred with the launch of FNaF Freddy's 4, which suffered from the 1987 bite, and from the beginning it seemed that all the evidence indicated that Golden Freddy was going to be the cause of the bite of the 87. In the custom night from FNaF Freddy they gave us that clue. In FNaF Freddy's 2 they said that all yellow sweet was used for inappropriate things. In FNaF Freddy's 3 in stage 1 where Golden Freddy is located, a child disappears, and the FNaF Freddy's 4 teaser seemed like they were going to confirm this with the message, "Was it me?" In addition to the fact that in 2 teasers you could see 8 and 7 rapidly, indicating that it was going to be set in 1987, and the animatronic causing the bite was Freddy, an animatronic similar to Golden Freddy, which all the evidence was connected, so that is what the bite of 87. But apparently that would bring more trouble to the lore, and Scott at the last minute changed it to 1983. Maybe it's not really a retcon, but saying all the connections I had, I don't rule it out as a possibility. The last retcon is more complicated to explain and a very expensive topic that deserves to be talked about in a separate video. But this retcon makes canon everything that was not canon in the beginning, such as the Halloween version of FNaF Freddy's 4, FNaF Freddy's World, the custom nights, among other things that were outside the main canon, and Scott preferred to put them in some way in the lore so that they were not excluded, being the greatest impact in the history of FNaF. But well, this has been all the video for today. If there is any retcon that I have forgotten, tell me in the comments, but I think they are out there. So this has been all, and I will see you in the next video.